Good afternoon, everyone. It's Aaron Mobley. I am here on Facebook Live, starting something new. I had this brilliant idea that every day, just for a few moments, I would come into your homes, your cars, your jobs, from the comfort of my backyard, and we would have some backyard conversations. Well, listen, it is raining in Charleston. It's cold in Charleston. And you know how you have this idea that you just can't let go of. So I said, you know what? If it's cold, if it's raining, then I'll do it on the back patio. But the idea I had, it just wouldn't let me go. So I am here in my backyard as planned. There's no sun. I can still feel a little bit of rain. So as long as the torrential rain holds up, then I'm going to share with you some thoughts and ideas and things that I think would better your life. Today I want to share with you concerning honoring your space. If you have not, why don't you take a moment to share this broadcast with your followers, your friends. Share, because I believe that whatever your hands are on, whatever you're doing, whatever you're a part of, that thing is so important that your space has to be protected. It is amazing how God gives us such creative ideas and witty inventions and innovations that we have never experienced, our family has never experienced, because literally God wants you to be the generation starter for your life. When I talk about generation starters, I'm not talking about there not being any time or history in your lineage. I'm talking about you yourself having the God ability, the divine creativity to start something brand new in your life, that the generations after you will have a foundation and a building to build thereupon. You, sir, you, madam, I believe are a generation starter. And whatever God gives you, creativity, witty inventions, prophetic intelligence, futuristic ideas, you are literally, as God enabled Noah, you are building for another day. I want you to look at whatever your hands are on, whatever you're creating, whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're meditating on, whatever you're forming within yourself, and you're fueling. Because much of what you'll do in this season will be because of which you are internally fueling. It's the internal momentum. It's the internal thing that other people think just happened suddenly, or somebody did this for them, or somebody gave them, that you yourself have been feeding that thing internally probably for many years. And literally in this space of time, you are about to do something so powerful that it's going to shock your world. It's going to start a new generation of power in your life and in everything that you've ever been attached to. Noah built for another day. Whatever your hands are on, you're not building just for today. You'll experience some benefits of it, but the momentum and the power, the energy that you'll experience, it will go well beyond today, tomorrow, and the day after it. Noah built for another day. One of the things I love about the story of Noah is that Noah had the grace. God found something in Noah. The Bible says, and Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. You know what's so very important about Noah finding grace in the eyes of the Lord? Because Noah had something that God did not see in anyone else there. I want you to think about yourself, and many of you have been isolated and probably placed back in some cave seasons where you have felt as though nobody's supporting me, nobody's coming to my rescue, nobody is helping me, nobody is financing me, because there's nothing like a good check that'll encourage a brother or encourage a sister. But if you're in that position where nobody's been financing you, nobody's been resourcing you, I want you to understand that God is finding something particular in you that He is not finding in anyone else around you. And the thing about this is that when God gives Noah the instructions on how to build for another day, that God specifically identifies what He would build with. I want you in this season, as you're honoring your space, to only value and honor the things that God is placing in your space, because those are the things that God has designed for you to use. Many times people will offer you all types of things, resources, materials, building blocks, because that's how they feel you need to build this thing that's in your heart, that's in your mind. I want you to always remember that whenever God designs something for you to build, He places resources in your immediate space, because that's what He wants you to build. You remember when Goliath started to taunt the children of Israel. David goes there to take his brother some materials, some resources, some food. Saul, now at the best beckoning of David says, take this armor, put this on. David says, I've not proven this. What did David use? David used something that was already in his space, already in his environment. He had already tried it. He had already proven it. One of the most devastating things you could ever do is attempt to bring something into your world that is not natural to who you are and natural to what God's designed for your life to build with. God identifies the gopher wood. God tells Noah, this is what you're going to build with, because if you build with this thing, the thing that you're building is going to last beyond the storm. Beloved, many of us fall into all types of situations where we are not surviving. We are being devastated. We are being torn down because we have built with things that other people have given to us instead of what God has divinely placed in our space. I want you to think about Adam and how God formed Adam out of the dust of the ground and breathed into him the breath of life. Adam becomes what? A living soul, right? All right. And all of these wonderful things that were around Adam was not satisfying Adam. God formed the animals. You remember that? And then God gives Adam the dominion to name the animals, and whatever the name that Adam gave them, that was their name forever. But these things were not satisfying him. The animals were brought to him. So what God decides to do is God decides to put Adam in a great sleep, a great place of pause. And that's where many of you are right now as you're listening to this. You are in a place of pause. And many people are looking at you and say, well, why aren't you doing anything? You know, why are you just sitting down there not doing anything? But they don't understand that it's in our greatest moments of pause that we receive our greatest levels of momentum. Did you hear what I said? In our greatest levels of pause is where we receive some of our greatest levels of momentum. All right. So God puts Adam in a deep sleep. It wasn't some surface sleep or something that he could be easily awaked out of. It was a deep sleep. And whatever transition and whatever stage that you're shifting to, many of you have gone through a season of great deep sleep, deep contemplation, deep meditation. It's in meditation that you literally form the image within yourself. And this is going to be very important, even as God tells us in Joshua, all right, to meditate on the word day and night, and then you'll make your way prosperous, and then you'll have good success. The idea of meditation is to still your surroundings, to still the noise, and to come to a place where you are building something. So when you come out of your sleep, you know exactly what you're going after. You know exactly what your eyes are on, and nothing and no one is going to distract you from that thing. You've got to be okay with your moment of pause, because in your greatest level of moment of pause, you receive your greatest level of momentum. So God puts Adam in this deep level of sleep, right? Adam is in this sleep. Nothing can shake him. I don't care how much the animals made noise, the wind came, nothing could awake Adam out of this sleep. All right, this was a season for God. I want you to think about what your hands are on, the space that you're currently living in, the ideas, the imaginations, the dreams, the visions that you've had for many years, and people are trying to shake you out of it. Refuse to be awaken. Refuse to be startled. Refuse to be shifted out of your place of rest and out of your place of pause, because it's in that place of pause that something great is going to come out of you. So God brings the animals to Adam, and they don't satisfy Adam, because what's going to satisfy you in this season is not things that are brought to you, but it's things that come out of you. There is such a magnanimous, if I can use that word, level of treasure on the inside of you. People don't even know the length, the breadth, the height, the width of what's on the inside of you. And you, beloved, are going to have to be that person that is very cognizant and very conscious of your potential. And even though your current level of activity seems as though it's something great to other people, oh, I would love to have what you have. I would love to live in a house you live in. I would love to have the business partners you have. You should be satisfied. You know the maximum potential that God's placed on the inside of you, and this thing right now is probably frustrating you. Your current level of success is probably frustrating you. The people who are around you are probably great people, but those environments are probably frustrating you. Not that you're throwing them away, but you know that God is broadening your audience. You understand that God is expanding your borders. He's enlarging your territory, and there's something that's going to come out of you that's immediately going to cause expansion. I want want you today to understand that there's something coming out of you. It's going to be larger than anything you've ever produced, but you're going to have to honor your space. So Adam is in this deep sleep, right? Nothing could shake him. Nothing can stir him. Nothing could shift him. All right. Nothing could shake him. Nothing could stir him. Nothing could shake him. All right. So he's in this deep sleep. God's put him in this deep sleep. It's a deep sleep that's placed upon him by God. Some of the things that you're experiencing right now in your mentality, in your emotions, you know, the enemy can probably say, well, you're feeling depressed because of this. You're down because of this. All right. You're not talking because of this. Please talk to me. What's going on? What's going on? And you're literally telling them nothing's going on. I'm just calm. I just don't have a whole lot to say. I'm in a very silent season where God is developing something in me that's going to cause me to come to a place of satisfaction and fulfillment. What's going to satisfy you is this thing that's going to come out of you. This awesome thing. And you probably don't even have a name for it yet. You don't have, an idea. It's not all the way formed. You just know that I'm about to produce something that's going to change my world forever. Have you ever been to that place where you're about to produce something, you don't even know what it is? You sense it. You could hear the footsteps of whatever that thing is coming towards you. You could sense it. You just don't know what it is. That's the deep sleep of God coming on you, because God's going to bring something out of you that's going to relate to you. What's irritating you probably right now is that you have a whole lot of people around you, all right, that are not relating to you. You can't relate to them, all right? You can talk to them. You can't relate to them, and they can't relate to you. I taught a lesson many years ago concerning communication and exposure, and many times we're not receiving the accurate level of communication from people around us because they have not been exposed to this new thing we are becoming. Whenever something new comes out of you, and whenever you transform and you go through this level of metamorphosis, all right, that people have not seen, because this level of transformation, it came behind closed doors. Some of your best work, beloved, will be done where no one can see you, where no one could track you, where no one could put their finger on the shift. Your shift came in the secret place. Your shift came, all right, in the divine place of your spirit and how God communicates. That thin place, all right, where heaven meets earth. That's where your shifting came. Your shifting didn't come, in the church house where everybody could see it and they could document it or they can detail it. That's why many times people don't understand your story, because they weren't there to document your change. It's kind of like how when Jesus took with him Peter, James, and John and said, let's pray here. He went up to pray, and while he's praying, he's being transfigured. They're falling asleep. So when actually they wake up, all right, Jesus wakes them up and said, wake up, come on, keep on praying. The Bible said Jesus goes back and he prays, and they fall asleep again. I want to tell you something very poignantly and very boldly and very sternly. You have attempted to wake up people in your life for too long. You have woken them up one time. You've woken them up 2 times. You're waking up 3 times. I'm about to do something. Just stick with me. You keep waking them up. This last time, all right, I want you to let them sleep. Because every time you go back to wake them up to what God's doing in your life, you are losing time and you're losing the strength of your momentum. Let them sleep this last time. All right. It doesn't matter if they're not there to watch it, because God sometimes doesn't want people to document your change. He wants them to wake up to a level of transformation that they can't tamper with. Sometimes we communicate things that we should not. We need to understand the principle of what Elizabeth did, and how Elizabeth, the Bible said, hid herself for a period of time. And after that period of time, then she ventured out, because what God had done in her was readily formed. It was to the point where it couldn't be shaken out of her. And many times, every time you shake somebody up to what God is doing in your life, you are literally backtracking your progress. Let them sleep. The Bible says the last time Jesus tells them, just go, he leaves them alone. And when they wake up, they find out, watch this, that his countenance is not only changed, but God has also given him some new company. They wake up and understand that the audience that Jesus had with him is larger than the audience that he had when they fell asleep. Beloved of God, stop waking up people that doubt and don't believe that you're about to produce something. Because when they finally wake up and they understand that you are in a new space, they'll see not only is your countenance changed, but God has also increased your company. Beloved, your audience is much larger than you realize. Your populace, the individuals that are going to be blessed by what you have to offer, is much larger than you realize. Stop restricting the potential of this product and the potential of what God's doing in your life based on who's around you. Honor your space. One of the greatest levels of principle that God has taught me is how to always honor myself as a gift. And when you honor yourself as a gift, it is not that you're high-minded, it is not that you're arrogant, it's not that you're prideful. You just understand that what I have to offer is so valuable, it is priceless, that I am not willing to allow it to be cheapened by individuals that don't see it as great. It doesn't matter what situation or circumstance that you're currently involved in or attached to. God is not sending your new audience because of where you are. God is sending your new audience because of who you are. That's why during slow seasons and seasons of pause, you have to always continue to build your product, build your idea, build your invention. Because when your new audience comes, they are coming for everything you have to offer. I don't care if they're not buying your book yet, they're not ordering the pilot of your TV show, they're not calling you for these business sessions, or it seems like you're not getting enough partners. Continue to build, because when God sends in the kings are going to ask you, what else do you have to offer? And you don't want to have one thing, you don't want to have two things, you don't want to have three things. You want to have a library and a resource, a center full of what God has placed on the inside of you. Continue to build. I don't care if your book isn't on the New York bestsellers list yet. Continue to write, continue to develop whatever God's placed on the inside of you, because the kings are coming. They're not coming because of where you are. So don't despise your small beginnings or the surroundings or the things that might be in your backyard, because God himself is going to send kings to wherever you are. Let's look at Jesus. In those terrible surroundings where he was born in, beloved, God sent kings, and they brought to him the gold, the frankincense, and the myrrh. Not because of where he was, but because of who he was. Now understand, you have a right to deserve honor. I want you to say that. I have the right to deserve honor. I don't care what your title is, where you've come from, who's around you, who's asking for your autograph, and maybe they're not even asking for your name because they don't care. You deserve the right to be honored. Honor yourself as a gift. I want you from this day forward to understand that the value that God places on your life is above any level of value that you can place on anybody else's life. And you are doing yourself the ultimate disservice in honoring other people above how you honor yourself. Now write that down, put that in a sticky, tell somebody this later on today. I am doing myself a disservice if I ever honor someone more than I am willing to honor myself. All right, so honor yourself as a gift. And the second thing that's connected to that is you have to honor your space. If I'm going to honor myself as a gift, then I'm going to honor the space that the gift dwells in. All right. So I'm not going to be that individual that just allows any person into my environment. I'm going to eliminate the waste. I'm going to eliminate toxic environments. I'm going to eliminate anything that's going to stop me from being productive, anything that's going to stop me from excelling. I'm going to honor my space. My space is valuable. The things that I let in my ears is valuable. The things that I put before my eyes is valuable. All right. The individuals that I allow into my personal company, all right, that's valuable. All right. So if I understand that I'm a gift, then I'm going to be very cautious about what and who devalues the space I'm in. They're going to honor my time. They're going to honor my energy. They're going to honor my gifts. They're going to honor my contributions. They're going to honor my deposit. They're going to honor my investment, because I am honoring my space. One of the greatest ways you're going to honor your space, beloved, is by eliminating out-of-season voices. Many of you are having so much trouble kind of focusing and centering because you are allowing voices into your space that have outmatched their time or have outstayed their welcome. or expired or have decayed. However you want to say it, you have to eliminate out of season voices. The voices that are now ministering and speaking to you and encouraging you should be voices that relate to the space you're in. And many people don't want to accept the fact that you are not where you used to be. Remember that principle concerning communication and exposure? This literally says that people are only able to communicate with you on a level that they've been exposed to. So if you've literally shifted and you've translated to another system, to another way of thinking, if they themselves have not decided to do that, then they don't have the proper definitions to articulate to you, to encourage you, to motivate you. All right. So this idea of honoring the past is wonderful. Honoring the past has nothing to do with who you allow to speak to your present and also speak to your future. You could honor history, but understand that there's another level of technology that's coming from heaven, a divine deposit that's going to allow you to embrace everything that God's created your life to be. So eliminate out of season voices. Honor your space. The space that God gives you is so valuable that I'm going to honor that enough. All right. Well, listen, my time is up for today. I'm going to join you tomorrow, and we're going to dive in some more in our backyard conversations concerning honoring your space. Would you do me a favor? All right. Would you comment? Let me know how you've enjoyed this. Would you share it with someone? And then join me tomorrow for another edition. Hopefully, we'll be able to do this every day of backyard conversations. God bless you. Have a great day.